Jared Goff said after the game today that we're built for responding. He's damn right.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's good, everybody? Matt Derry with you on a post-game edition, a Sunday edition of Locked On Lions right here in the Locked On Podcast Network. A Sunday, October 20th, and a Monday, October the 21st. Your Detroit Lions are back atop the NFC North and in first place at 5-1. They go into Minnesota today. They come back and beat the Vikings 31-29. Jake Bates, where's that kicker list? It's gone. Jake Bates from 44 yards out with 17 seconds left, right down the middle. Jared Goff leading them down the field. And the Lions took a bunch of punches early in this game. It looked dire early. Down 10-0. Come back and win to get to 5-1. Matt Derry with you. Thanks for making us your first listen and checking us out wherever you get your podcasts. It is Locked On Lions for a Sunday edition. Shout out to our everydayers that are out there that watch or listen to the podcast each and every day. Those of you that check us out on our YouTube channel, we appreciate you as well. A couple of people I got to give a shout out to on the Matt Derry Facebook fan page that are everydayers. Ben John, no, not Ben Johnson, Ben John, his wife Lauren, she's pregnant. Ben's a big everydayer. Thank you, Ben. David Boynton, Pat Cybolka, Mike Johnson, Ross Parmalee, the great Liam Garvach over in Scotland. Liam's older brother, Jamie, reached out to me and said, you got to shout out my younger bro, Liam. He's in Scotland. He loves the pod. Thank you. Those of you that check us out daily right here on Locked On Lions. What a game today. What a freaking game today. Holy hell. That was a rock fight. That was an absolute brawl all day. The Vikings came out and said, watch this. They're blitzing Goff. They're smashing into people. They were pushing and shoving. They're dancing. They're taunting. The Vikings were fired up to start this game today. Second play from scrimmage, Aaron Jones runs off left tackle. Terrion Arnold is nowhere to be found. No contain, no defender anywhere. It was 7-0 Vikings. Then the Lions try some silly fake punt. That got snuffed out. Will Reichard kicks a massive field goal. It was 10-0 before many of you were even biting into your sandwich. But what this team does is they don't quit. They don't lay down. And the Lions responded going on a 21-0 run to lead 21-10. And to be honest with you folks, if there's anybody left that doesn't like Jared Goff or doesn't think Jared Goff is the future here at quarterback, then you need to have your head examined. Oh, the blitzing Brian Flores, the blitz master. Jared Goff's like, bring it. Every look the Vikings had, you watch Goff at the line of scrimmage, checking, making adjustments, quick passes, changing the play to a run. He was phenomenal today. Jared Goff was the reason the Lions won. Yes, Jake Bates kicked well, and Dan Campbell had them ready, and the defense hung in there. And Jared Goff went 22 out of 25 for 280, 2 touchdowns, and a passer rating of 140. There have been like 4 quarterbacks in the history of the game that have had 3 consecutive games of a passer rating of above 140 in their careers. And now Jared Goff is on that list with like Roger Staubach and others. Jared Goff and Drew Brees are the only 2 quarterbacks in NFL history to have back-to-back games with completion percentages, 2 games in a season with completion percentages of 88% or better. Remember, Goff had the perfect 18 for 18 against Seattle, and now today, 22 out of 25. Does he throw an incomplete pass? Rarely. He's been that accurate. Watch some of the quarterback play around the league. Tune into the Colts and watch Anthony Richardson try to complete a pass. All right? It's not great. Sam Darnold, who stands back there and holds the ball for eternity, he's playing quarterback in this league. Look, Sam Darnold's having a good start, and the Vikings have a good team, and But that was a rock fight today, man. You could tell Minnesota wanted this game. They're tired of hearing about the Lions. They're tired of hearing about how they can't win the NFC North. They wanted some respect. Put some respect on my name. I respect the Vikings. You got to hold this L, though, Minnesota. Hold it. Caress it. Cuddle it. It's an L. Lions took your lunch money today. 31-29. What about Jahmyr Gibbs today? 144 yards of total offense, ran for $116, including that touchdown run of 45 yards where he juked the defender. Oh, that was just nasty. Gibbs also caught 4 balls for 44 yards, ran for 116. So what a day for him. What a day for Jahmyr Gibbs. Man, what a game. Jake Bates, baby. Kicker list. Maybe it's gone. Maybe I should burn it. I'm not even reaching for it today. All of you on Twitter at Derry Speaks or at Locked On Lions are, oh, burn your kicker list. I'm not even going to show it to you. I'm not even going to reach for it today. What a game. So many things to get into. We're going to hand out game balls. I want to talk about the defense in the second segment a little bit. Yes, I am well aware that the Lions had, what was it today? 4 sacks of Sam Darnold, but I don't know about you. I still think they've got to go get another edge rusher because I know Brad Holmes is taking his time. Brad Holmes is going to call some GMs. They're going to work on it. And yes, I know Max Crosby shared an Instagram post of somebody saying, come to Detroit. I get all that. It's going to take some time. But as the games keep going on and we're starting to see teams really in serious doo-doo here, the Saints have lost 5 in a row. The Browns are terrible. Tennessee's terrible. That's when you start making these calls, when these teams start deciding that they're going to lick the stamp on the season. But today, there was not enough pass rush on Sam Darnold. Yes, they got home 4 sacks. Yes, the last play of the game, Trevor Nowatzki sacked Darnold. By the way, I'm going to need to take a drink of water here and spill all over myself. By the way, how is it the Vikings throw a pass with 10 seconds left? They come down and spike it with 1 second left. And as they're spiking it, they don't have 7 men on the line of scrimmage. They don't have, it's an illegal motion, not illegal procedure. They don't have enough men lined up correctly. In every other rule in the NFL, at the end of a game, when a team has the ball and commits a penalty, every other penalty, whether it's pass interference, whether it's holding, whether it's anything, it's a 10-second runoff. 10-second runoff. And the game ends. But on this illegal procedure play, because they were all set and it wasn't a false start, and they spiked the ball with 1 second left, they push them back 5 yards and let them attempt a Hail Mary. Now, Nowatzki sacked Darnold. It didn't end up mattering, but my God, that's a horrible rule. Every other penalty is a 10-second runoff, except this one, because they were all set. They were just lined up improperly. That's BS. That pissed me off. I'm sitting there going, 10-second runoff, game's over. That officiating crew today, my God. I mean, every play, I'm waiting for a flag. Everyone. Poor Coyote Awoshika. In for the injured Kevin Zeitler today at right guard. He committed 3 penalties. That poor dude. Hey, and Taylor Decker, I can't wait to see his PFF grade tomorrow. Ouch. Rough day today for the big left tackle. But regardless, the Lions fought through all that BS and won the football game. Doesn't matter how you do it. And I said 23-21 Lions on Friday. It was pretty close today. 31-29. They continue, Ben Johnson and Jared Goff continue to lap Brian Flores. And Brian Flores is a terrific defensive coordinator. The Vikings came in 3rd in the league in scoring defense, only giving up about 15 points a game. Just over 15 points a game, and the Lions put up a 31 burger on them. That was tasty today. That was awesome. What a football game. We'll get more into it. I want to talk about the defense, more on Jared Goff. We'll hand out game balls. We'll do it all today. I'm in a good mood. Lions 31, Vikings 29. Right here on Locked On Lions. It's a Sunday edition. And folks, Locked On Lions is sponsored by BetterHelp. Halloween lets us have fun with what scares us, right? We love Halloween, but what about those fears that don't involve zombies and ghosts and all the candy and stuff? Well, therapy is a great tool for facing your fears and finding ways to overcome them, because sometimes the scariest thing is not facing our fears in the first place and holding ourselves back. All right. So if you're thinking about starting up therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Overcome your fears with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/lockedon today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/lockedon. Matt Derry back with you. It's a Sunday edition of a Locked On Lions following the Detroit 31-29 victory over the Minnesota Vikings today. Jake Bates, a 44-yard field goal with 17 seconds left. Give credit to Dan Campbell and the staff. I love, and we're going to have him on the show Tuesday. I love Adam Amin, who's on the play-by-play today on Fox, and Greg Olsen. I think that's a very good duo. But Olsen would not shut up at the end of the game about the clock management for the Lions. Why aren't they hurrying more? What are they doing? They did it just right. Dan Campbell screwed the clock up years ago in Minnesota, his first year. Now he's learned. He made the Vikings call timeouts. He got it down to as far as he could. Jake Bates wanted it on the right hash mark. Jake Bates is a better kicker from 44 yards out than he is from 29 yards out. We've seen it. He likes distance. And Olsen was just couldn't understand what the Lions were doing, except all of us, all of Lions fans and Lions Nation. We all knew what was going on. That was great. Lions handled that very well. Yes, Adam Amin, who had the play-by-play call today on Fox, he'll be with us on Tuesday. Lions are back home next week to take on the Tennessee Titans, who are terrible. They started Mason Rudolph at quarterback today and lost in Buffalo. But big week ahead here on Locked On Lions. Great win. 5-1. Packers won again. So they're now 5-2. Brandon McManus was picked up this week by Green Bay to kick and hit the game-winning field goal. Good win for Green Bay against the Houston Texans today at home. Lions win 31-29 over the Vikings today. Amon-Ra St. Brown, another big day. 8 catches, 112 yards. He had a touchdown today. How about number 3 receiver Tim Patrick? Had a couple of big grabs today. Khalif Raymond was involved. Jamison Williams only 1 catch yet. And Sam Laporta only 1 catch. But yet, this team found a way to win the football game 31-29. And, look, David Montgomery has had huge days for this team. Got injured with a leg injury early in the game, was listed as questionable to come back, comes back and toughs it out. Had a really bad turnover late. This was the first time all season that the Lions had lost a fumble, and it came in the fourth quarter with the team having the lead. 28-23. Josh Metellus, the former Michigan Wolverine, punched the ball out. And a scoop and score, and all of a sudden the Vikings had a 29-28 lead, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'd get David Montgomery right back on the field next week. I understand why they went to Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs was just having a better game to begin with. But the Lions, again, fought through that. They got through the adversity of all of that crap and made it happen today and won the football game. Gibbs was just explosive. I kind of had a feeling he would do that. I just loved all the runs and the quick hitters that the Lions had against some of that blitzing defense from the Vikings. I mean, Minnesota all year has been coming out and just jumping on people from Jump Street and winning games in blowout fashion. Remember, they were up 28-0 on the Packers. They led the Lions 10-0 in the first quarter. I think it was the 6th straight game. that the Vikings have had a 10-point lead in the first quarter. I mean, they have just been dominating teams. But it was that Lions, not only just comeback, but just answering the bell every single time, trailing 10-0. Then Gibbs breaks off that 45-yard touchdown run. Then Goff hits Amon-Ra St. Brown after Penei Sewell is basically blocking the entire Viking team on that play. 14-10 Lions. Then Gibbs another 8-yard touchdown run. So the Lions led at the half, 21-10. You knew Justin Jefferson wasn't going to be silent all day. 25-yard touchdown pass from Sam Darnold made it 21-17. Then Goff on a little crosser to Khalif Raymond, his first touchdown of the year, 28-17 Lions. Reichert hits from 42, then from 48, made it a 6-point game. Lions' 11-point lead was gone as the Vikings got the Ivan Pace scoop and score to go up 29-28. But then Lions got the ball back. Plenty of time, 5 minutes to go, took it down the field. Actually, they got the ball back, had a punt. Jack Fox did a great job. Lions on third down got to stop. Darnold overshot Justin Jefferson. Vikings had to punt. Then the Lions went down and won the football game thanks to the right leg of Jake Bates. Yes, Justin Jefferson today, 7 catches, but just 81 yards. Fox kept showing all the big yardage gains and everything else that Jefferson had against the Lions. And let me bring this up, and I'm going to bring up the defense in a second. So my sock is falling off here. But you know his name we did not hear a lot today? Terrion Arnold. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Terrion Arnold, I'll be interested in seeing his PFF grade tomorrow, but not calling his name, that's always a good thing. I thought the Lions secondary did a heck of a job today. It was not an easy task. You're going up against Addison. You're going up against Justin Jefferson, who's the best receiver in football, and he had a touchdown today and all of that, even though Robertson, had pretty good coverage on him. But all in all, with no pass rush most of the game, and Sam Darnold having a lot of time to throw, and he had a good game, 22 out of 27, 259, a touchdown, and also an interception, passer rating of 103.5. How about that pick by Brian Branch today? That dude is just a ball player. Oh, my God. You didn't even see him on the screen. Then all of a sudden he comes out of nowhere and makes that play. Brian Branch is a freak. He's a stud. Had a really, really good game today. But I do want to talk about the defensive line for a second here. Now, the sacks today were credited to Malcolm Rodriguez, Jack Campbell, Trevor Nowaski, and Josh Paschal. Each of them had a sack today. We saw Isaac Ukwu start the game. He played a little bit. The legendary Eastern Michigan Eagle, Pat O'Connor, was active for this game today. He was out there. James Houston played a little bit today, but mostly it was Paschal, Reeder, McNeil, and Onwuzurike, who were the 4 out there in passing situations. Like I said, James Houston played a little bit today. He played better. He didn't jump off sides. He had one play where he was rushing from the right side, and he forced Darnold to the outside and stayed in his rush lane, which was good. But Sam Darnold had too much time to throw. And look, the defense did the job today. Only gave up 23 points. The scoop and score wasn't on them. The Vikings offense has been a juggernaut for most of the year. So I thought the Lions defense did okay. And I'm sure when they ask about the pass rush, maybe tomorrow or something to Dan Campbell, he'll say, oh, next man up. Guys are doing a lot of delayed blitzes today from Aaron Glenn. He sent Nowaski. He sent Malcolm Rodriguez. He sent Anzalone. He was sending safeties. A lot of different guys got in there. But when they were just base 4-3, trying to rush off the edge, Paschal had one sack that was a coverage sack. But other than that, Lions were having trouble getting home. Darnold had way too much time to throw. That must change. We can sit here and celebrate this win, and that's what we're doing. Lions win, baby, 5-1. Looking good. Huge win on the road. They've just gone on the road in back-to-back weeks and won at Dallas and at Minnesota. They've also won at Arizona this year. You know how many times the Lions have lost on the road this year? That would be 0. They've been road warriors for the last 3 years. It's been great to see. But they still need to find another edge rusher. Isaiah Thomas, who they picked up off the practice squad of the Bengals, was inactive today. Probably not ready to play yet. got to find somebody. They got to make a trade before November 5th. They do. Because, yeah, we're not replacing Aiden Hutchinson. There's nothing that will replace him unless you got Max Crosby or Myles Garrett, but I don't think that's realistic. Now, Zadarius Smith told a Cleveland reporter this week he'd love to play for the Lions. That's because he wore out his welcome in Minnesota and Green Bay, so he'd love to bash their heads in again. We'll see. All right, we're going to hand out some game balls. We will do that coming up next here. Whew, what a win today. 5-1. Go on the road and win at Minnesota. Very, very impressive. All right, friends, Locked On Lions brought to you by FanDuel. You can start the season with a big return, NFL fans, on FanDuel, because that is America's #1 sportsbook. When you get a hunch in the middle of the game, all right, I'm recording right now. If you're watching KC in San Francisco, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. You'll get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Tonight, NLCS Game 6. Dodgers looking to close out the New York Metropolitans, up 3-2. Unfortunately, last night I was in the building at the beautiful Progressive Field to watch my Guardians lose to the Yankees. Baseball, you want to put some money down on it, you can at FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com, America's #1 sportsbook. Sunday edition of Locked On Lions, everybody. Thanks for being with us. Lions 31, Vikings 29, Detroit 5-1, Minnesota 5-1. Lions, of course, have the tiebreaker, so they're in first place. Green Bay at 5-2. What a win today for your Leos. Game balls today. But before I do game balls, I've got to look it up because I didn't do it yet. But the Lions had too many penalties today. Way too many penalties. I think they had 6 penalties on the offensive line as well. Lions had 8 penalties today for 49 yards. Vikings had 8 penalties for 59 yards. How about the one play when Khalil Dorsey got held on the kickoff return? And like everybody saw it and they picked up the flag. The ref Clay Martin's like, oh no, there's no penalty for holding. What do you mean? We all saw it. Dorsey's like this being held. Today was weird with the flags. Oh my God. It felt like Flag Day today. All right. Game balls. Let's hand out some game balls today. First and foremost, a game ball is going to Jake Bates. Game-winning field goal, 44 yards out. Bates today only had the 1 field goal, but he was perfect on extra points, 4 out of 4. The former Michigan Panther legend, UFL, lined up where he wanted it, right hash, and it was dead center. Won the game for the Lions. You love to see it. Remember Austin Seibert in Minnesota years ago? Oh, yeah. Jake Bates gets a game ball. Also, Jared Goff, passer rating of $140. That's 3 straight games with a passer rating over 140. That's almost impossible. 22 out of 25, 280 yards. He completed his first 15 passes today. Was 15 for his first 15, 12 for 12 in the first half. 2 touchdowns, sacked 4 times. Jahmyr Gibbs, game ball, 116 yards on the ground, 44 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns. Just explosive today, really hitting the holes hard and had a great game. So shout out to Jahmyr Gibbs. He was phenomenal. I haven't mentioned much about this, but the Dan Campbell fake punt. Oh my God, what was that? That was so bad. I'm also giving a game ball today to Jack Campbell. I thought Jack Campbell was really good today. Playing middle linebacker for the Lions. 7 tackles, 5 solos, 1 sack, and a quarterback hit. I love the way he played today. You just kind of saw number 46 all over the place. Big tackles in the open field, kept guys in front of him. Tremendous day for Jack Campbell. And again, Brian Branch gets a game ball. Interception, 4 tackles, 4 solos, couple of passes defended. You can play him at corner. You can play him at safety. You can put him wherever you want. But number 32 is a stud. Brian Branch gets a game ball as well. Minnesota today, by the way, I mentioned Darnold throwing for 259. Aaron Jones ran for 93 and a touchdown. Justin Jefferson, 7 catches, 81 yards. And TJ Hawkinson's still out for them, so their tight ends didn't do much. Ivan Pace Jr., the linebacker, was their leading tackler. He had 10 tackles. Gaines Media's own Alex Anzalone, 8 tackles, led the Lions today. But regardless, what an impressive showing from Detroit. They win 31-29 in Minnesota. They get a little reprieve here from this road trip. They come home to face the Tennessee Titans coming up this Sunday. Is that a Fox game or a CBS game? That is a Fox game Sunday at 1 for the Lions and the Titans. And it's at Green Bay November 3rd and at Houston for Sunday Night Football on November the 10th. But thank you, everybody, for checking in with us. Again, follow us on Twitter, Derry Speaks. Follow us Facebook, the Matt Derry Facebook fan page. Check us out wherever you get your podcast. Don't forget, subscribe and watch us for free on our Locked On Lions YouTube channel. Big week ahead. Do the crossover Thursday. Adam Amin from Fox on Tuesday. Working on a PFF guest as well. Maybe we'll get Dalton Wasserman on Friday as well. But we'll get you all the PFF numbers tomorrow and do a little Victory Monday, shall we? Right here on Locked On Lions on the Locked On Podcast Network. Big win today in Minnesota. Back in first place. You heard?